Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the session. I am the Wombat of DM, and you are joining us for session 48 of our Seregen campaign. With us, we have our elaborate, illustrious, and elusive party. Let me introduce them for you. Nope, just joking, they're going to do it themselves.
We get all the hard work. Hey, how's it going? I'm the Banewall. I get to play Belzian Gilcus, the half-elf monk. Hiya!
Hiya.
Uh,
I'm Amadeus. I play Roger, the Wood Elf Assassin. Wood Elf Assassin? Yes, he would.
I'm Shade. I get to play the human paladin Ulrich. Howdy. That's the paladin version of Hiya.
I am Jaeger. I play Yarvik, the halfling ranger who really, really hates doors.
You adore them.
That's valid. I'm Zippo, the awesome, kobold sorcerer.
And that's your only description. Got it. Okay. I was just making
that's
sure
all
there
I
wasn't
need,
any more. Yeah. And
Yeah. Awesome is like, it encompasses everything.
Fair enough. And for those of you who have been following us for the entirety of the session, congratulations on making it to our 2-year mark, which is in 2 days from now. 2 years ago, we started off with session 0 of our campaign, which of course was not televised, but we will be hitting our actual 2-year anniversary next time. Anyway, let's talk about last session. I know it was a little short, but let's talk about it. So the group started in the trials that the Bronze Dragon clan has for its smaller members, or at least that's presumably the case since there were several doors that the group could have gone through to go down into the trials, and they were led to this one. They were first faced with a black dragon who was chained to the floor and wall and trapped there. After some attempts at communication, the group decided to attack it and assassinate it, which, of course, when it died, very easily, it turned out to be an illusion, revealing a door behind it, which they stepped through. The next set of doors was 3 doors marked Strong, Skilled, and Hardy, which the group chose to go. They kind of paired off, except for Belzian took his own route. Yarvik stayed behind because he wasn't around for the session, so I didn't want to send him through a door without being able to experience it for himself. But the doors did open when all 3 members, or when all 3 doors were pushed open at the same time. So what Yarvik will do to get through whichever door he chooses, we shall see. Belzian has been pushing blocks in the strong room to some varying effects. Roger has been trying to shoot a statue in the eyes to various degrees of success, but it finally did and was able to knock over the statue and is currently holding a rod he pulled out of its back. The Hardy Boys, Ulrich and Zippo, went through a maze that was airless, having to hold their breath the whole time before they swam down a 60-foot tunnel down and a 60-foot tunnel back up the other side of a wall that was blocking their path. That puzzle would have probably been pretty rough for them constitution-wise had they not had a caster casting polymorph and turning them into sharks. So it turned out to be a fairly leisurely swim through the murky water. They've come out on the other side, no longer sharks because they're outside of the water, and they're facing off against a perilous set of 8 bottles on a table. Dun dun dun. And that's where we will leave it in your hardy hands. So I guess we should ask which group wants to go first.
I think Yarvik should because he wasn't here last time.
I'm for it.
Yeah, let's go.
Sure.
All right, Yarvik.
Yarvik, is been pacing around here in this lobby, just slowly cursing himself about having to deal with freaking more doors, and he's just gonna go to the strength door, because he's gonna just channel that anger. He wants to punch something in the nose.
Okay.
So he's gonna go in the strength.
All right, so you go to the strength door. The door is a circular door. There is a hole in the center of it. It looks like a gripping hole, not a hole to turn a knob. The doors before and this door is very similar. Were push doors, where not push in or out, but push to the side, and it would roll into an alcove set into the wall.
Okay, so I guess we'll try to roll the door.
Give me a strength
I
check,
guess-
please.
Check.
And by that, I mean an athletics check. Okay. With a 21, you are able to turn the door, and it rolls to the side, and you are admitted in.
You'll have to put me in the map.
Yeah. Just realized you don't. So you are in the map right now, but
I'm in the kind
Yeah,
of like the
yeah.
antechamber.
all right, there you go.
There we go. Oh, it's dark. I'm gonna cast dark vision.
Okay. Casting dark vision. Let me give you some sight. Oh, so you can see, right?
I see.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Good. All right. Yep. All right, so you see the angled walls, or the kind of the blocks here.
Mhm.
Those are all 5-foot blocks, like of stone that go from the floor to the ceiling and fill a 5-foot passage. They have handles on each of the flat surfaces in the center of the block itself, looking like things that they could be utilized to grip. There's basically think of the wall as like a the passage is 15 feet wide, so 5 feet from either side of the door, and then it goes the length of the passage. So you can see that wall continuing onward north, and then these blocks are whatever disturbs that line. You found Belzian.
So what do you know?
Oh, why, hello there. I was just having so much fun pushing and pulling these blocks around that I got ahead of myself here.
So have you figured out where we need to move them?
Almost. So pretend this giant block in front of me was not here. There's actually a door, like right there, and I'm pretty sure that's where we need to be going. Just a little to the up of us. North? I don't know where we are.
Yes, north.
So I pulled this block back here, and now we can't get through because there's no room. So I can push it back. Here, do you want to? It's got big handles on it, I think. Yeah, let's give it a push.
Let's give it a push.
Can we push it up?
So we can do like an assist thing.
They're not that heavy. So what made you choose this door, friend?
I got bored. I just didn't feel like being angry in the chamber anymore, and I figured the strength door would give me a good chance to just vent my frustration and punch something. So
Oh well, punch away.
I'm not going
Elsian,
to punch the block right now because I feel like that will probably hurt. But when something is punchable, I'm definitely going to punch it.
Belzian, you're rolling a strength check, a strength saving throw instead of a ability check. You should be rolling athletics.
Ah, okay. Do.
Um, I realized this last session and didn't say anything. I just added 4 to your number, but just as a heads up for now.
I guess I'm more athletic than strong.
All right, so you're pushing together. Is that what I'm hearing?
Sure, we can, if it's required.
Okay, well, so pushing together means one person is aiding, and the reason I asked that is because Belzian rolled technically 2 checks. We could just add 4 to his first roll, which would have made it a 20, and then he rolled a second one, which is the 26. So I was checking to make sure that Yarvik was pushing the block as well, to see if that better roll actually counted or not. And since you rolled, I will take that as you did help Belzian, and you together got a 26. Is that sound fair?
Sure.
Okay, perfect.
Sure thing.
The block moves forward 5 feet and hits a wall. Ka-clunk.
Yes, okay. I should have mentioned before we did that. Now we can't get through the door because the block's in front of the door. Or at least I can't. I'm too big.
So here to Yarvik's lower left, is there supposed to be a thin wall right here?
Yep, there is one.
So tell me about that. What is it? Is it just like a stone?
It's just
partition
a thin stone wall. It looks like it's just about maybe 6 inches wide. And it kind of is a partition between the upper and lower part of the room. Just enough to be annoying.
Are there handles on this side of the? Are there handles on the side of the wall that I'm on right now?
I guess I should have mentioned. Yeah, there are. There are handles on both sides of the door, or both sides of the block.
Okay, so if we both just stand over here and then move the block south 5 feet, then we could get behind it and push it the rest of the way. But the door's farther north, right? Or is the door east?
The door, you can kind of see through the crack, is directly center opposite of the door you came in.
Okay, yeah. So let's move this block south, 1 notch, and see if we can get a little closer.
That sounds like a plan.
I'll roll on this one.
Okay.
Jorvik's already exhausted.
The block
His
does not
anger has
move.
petered out.
Sorry, what was that, Wombat?
I said the block does not move.
Yeah, allow me to give it a big old. I think it's a push because we're moving it to our right. I'm also getting tired here.
Remember, you have advantage because you're both trying at the same time.
Oh yeah.
The block does not move.
So it won't move any farther south.
At least not from this angle.
Yeah, so if maybe we go back to the south side of the block and then try to move it west 1 notch.
Sure. I mean, get out of there first, and then we'll. We would like to pull it to the left.
Okay, so you were pulling it west one.
West one notch, yes.
Okay. Belzian, you are able to push the door with Yarvik's help west one block before Kathunk
It's
it
like
hits
a
the
door.
wall.
Are we able to squeeze in through here?
Yes.
Yeah. Look how strong we are.
I'm feeling very beefy.
Hmm.
Okay, so,
We
so
put some
is the door still blocked, or can we kind of like
It's
squeeze
totally
into-
still blocked.
Okay, let's try moving it south this time.
It seems like pulling things to our left is our greatest strength.
Left Yarvik strikes again.
All right. You both strain against the block, but the block doesn't seem to be able to. You aren't able with your strength to move it. Feels like you're close, but it's just your muscles are giving out a little bit.
Oof. Well, we could always try pulling it south one more. But I don't recommend standing in that little corner there, because you'll get squished. No, no, definitely not. Don't stand there. Ah. Okay.
So wait. So you say you want to go south? Like we want to go? Okay, yeah, we can. Yeah, let's try that. Yeah, we can do that.
All right, Yarvik. Yeah,
Ugh.
yeah. You'll
Wait,
need to
if
be.
I stand here and you stand there, we can move south one and nobody gets jellyfied.
It would take more than a block to jellify us. We're very strong.
All right, Bane. You rolled a 15 and a 15, or was that just one roll?
I think I got one more because that was the last one. Come on. Do you know the little thing that pops up with that rolls the dice? It doesn't pop up all the time.
Gotcha. Yeah, it seems like this angle is even worse.
Well, I've tried nothing and I'm all out of ideas.
Well, it's got to go somewhere. So either we don't have the strength to move it, or we have to move something else to get this to move.
Perhaps. There are plenty of blocks to the south of us. When I got here, there was a wee bit of space between the right wall and this block. Maybe we could move it half a step?
Sure, let's try that.
We'll try to move it half a step to the right.
Okay. Oh, we got a critical there.
Oh,
Did you roll 3 times?
I did. It's just slow.
Okay. So, you try moving it half a step to the right?
Yes, please.
All right. There you go.
Well, that's a bit better, but I think it's still covering the wall where the door actually is. We try to pull it back a wee little bit. What do you think?
Yeah, I guess it's like south. Pull it south.
Yeah, back.
Yeah, let's try it.
There we go. If I turn my sound up, I can hear the dice being rolled on Roll20. Then I don't have to click the button 500 times.
Unfortunately, it doesn't budge.
Are there any other like markings on the wall? Like if we search, is there like a some kind of a map or something that we're missing? Because otherwise, we're just kind of like we're literally just moving blocks in the dark, right?
You can do an investigation.
Sure, let's do that.
All right. The walls all seem to be made of the same substance, rocky substance that's been polished. Not smooth, but at least the walls are fairly even. The floor, though, is fairly polished. It's scratched heavily with the efforts of moving blocks around, but it's fairly slick. With the wear of many feet and time and blocks.
Where is the ceiling?
It's a 5-foot ceiling. Your area is also a 5-foot ceiling. It's just a 10-foot wide block below.
I'm sorry, I had to deal with phone call there. Describe that again.
Smooth walls, smooth floor. Floor is polished smooth with with footfalls and rocks being pushed, or blocks, I should say.
But no like markings.
Not that you
Glyphs.
can see.
And the blocks go all the way up to the ceiling.
Correct.
Am I able to squeeze into the corner on the top right here?
You can
Is there enough
squeeze.
clearance?
Yes.
Shimmy, shimmy, shimmy. And on the north side of the block, is there any way to get a handhold in there? Or?
You won't be able to make a strength check from that alcove. You just won't have enough purchase. You are, unless you're like bracing your legs and trying to push, but even then, you're not going to really be able to get them up to push the block. And you'll definitely not be able to grab the edge, especially since you kind of pushed it against the wall, right? It's kind of been scraping against the wall this whole time.
So this block to my south, can I push it south one notch?
You can try. All right. With your 28 roll, which is your crit, right?
Correct.
You push. You feel like you have the strength of the gods behind you. You feel real good about this push, and you push real hard, and it's not moving at all. It seems like whatever's behind that block is not allowing it to budge.
I had to push a lot of blocks to get this far into the tunnel. I don't know if we really need to push a lot of these blocks down here anymore.
Let's just
Unless
figure.
you think we could.
Go ahead.
No. What are you thinking? What do you figure?
I think so. The blocks that we see up here are one half of the puzzle, but either above us or below us, like the blocks are linked, but they look differently. You know what I mean? So, like the block we're trying to move by the door is a 4. It's like a square, but maybe whatever it's linked to above or below us is a different form. So we're kind of playing Jenga in the room we're in, but we're also playing like Battleship Jenga with a puzzle that we can't see. That's kind of my instinct for what I think we're doing here. You see what I'm saying?
Okay. So maybe the blocks in the lower portion of the room correspond to the big block at the top.
They're affecting. I think what we're doing here is they're affecting this block's ability to move. So I kind of think that's what's going on here. So we just have to figure out how to move the other blocks in a space where we can move this one. We really only needed to move down or left like one space, right? We do.
Yes, we need to get it away from the wall and also allow enough room for us to pass through. I think we're trying to get here.
Let me move this block that I'm south of north one notch, north one space.
The block that you're south of. Okay. Okay, try with all your might. It feels like there's too much weight behind that block for it to move. Just to kind of purchase that point some, you can see 3 blocks lined up against each other along this behind that block. So it's that block and then 2 other blocks behind it.
Oh, so we would have to move them like
So
individually.
like you can see how I'm moving that. Yeah.
Okay, so it's not 1-3. It's not 1-3 block Tetris. It's 3-1 block Tetris.
Yeah, every block here
Technically-
is 1 block except for the 10-foot block that you're looking at
Got it.
up top.
Every character in the Legend of Tetris is the line piece. Am I able to push any of these blocks towards the right to see if there's any give?
I believe you tried that last time and weren't able to.
Ah, yes. So I don't think these ones down here really want to go anywhere, except maybe some of these ones that we're standing next to.
Take this one and move it all the way to the left, where you're standing right now, like 2 blocks to the west.
So Belzian, you recall that the block that Yarvik is near used to be in the spot that he currently is standing. You moved it out of the way so you'd have more purchase on the big block.
So let's move this block directly west, all the way to the wall. It doesn't do much, but it gives us a little more room.
Sometimes the blocks don't like it, but we'll try.
So Belzian, you'll probably have trouble helping him with that, so he'll only be able to do 1 roll because it's just a 5-foot block. However, his first roll is enough to move it. How far are you moving it?
All the way to the wall, to the west.
Done.
It's a little cozy in here now, doesn't it?
And we try to move this bulk all the way to the right and then south again. Now we've created a little more space.
Yeah, let's pull this one right.
Push it or pull? I guess, yeah, it's pull. Yeah. Okay, go ahead. Who's leading? Is it Jorvik?
I'll help you, Jorvik.
Sure.
Sorry,
All right, now
I hit the arrow over and it just moved it a full block length.
that's fine. That's why I just wanted it against the wall.
You're so athletic. You almost threw it directly through the wall. And the other idea was to move it south again.
Yeah, now that we've moved a block to the south of this, I'm guessing here. I'm just guessing here. So let's try moving it south again.
I will help you.
So roll a second time since he's helping. Okay, with those strength checks, you are not able to move the block.
Okay.
Okay, your turn. I'll help you.
Give me a hand here.
You feel the rock moving slightly, but not enough to actually gain ground. It seems like you're close, but you just didn't have enough purchase. Your feet slide out from under you at the last second or something like that.
Oh, why did I wear sandals to this? It felt like it was gonna move, right?
Yeah. So is it because we can't pull from the south because then we can't get up here. So there's no point in trying to pull from the south. So whatever we're doing, we have to pull from one of the sides of the block, but we don't seem to have purchase to quite get enough leverage.
At least with the
We could
rolls that
try-
you've made so far.
We could try again.
All right. Yeah. Let's just keep trying till we get good rolls. I'll go first.
I am helping.
How far do you move it? Just 5?
As far as we can.
Okay.
If we can push it
You
all
know
the way
what?
to the south.
You can't move it any further than that because you're both moving it, so yeah. One of you hits the wall and then has to stop.
Huzzah!
Can I kick the block?
Sure. Make an attack.
Take that.
Okay, you hit the block and deal 6 damage to it. And since it's a magical punch, since you're a monk, you don't hurt yourself.
That felt good. Well, look, a door. Shall we proceed?
What?
Let's.
There's a handprint in the block where you punched it.
It's like when you get a new block of cement and you're waiting for it to dry. It's Belzian's autograph.
All right. Do you open the door?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Woo!
All right. You are faced with a 15-foot area, and below it is a cliff face. To your left, you see a slight ledge, not thin. It's thin enough that you won't be able to walk along it, or even shimmy along it with your back against the wall. There's just not enough purchase. Your feet would fall forward. But what you could do is hang from it. You cannot see a bottom, but you can see just yonder that there is another side.
See another door over there, I think.
And with that, we're going to move to another group. I'm going to move... I think Roger was the last to go last time. Is that correct?
Yep.
Okay, so we're moving on to the Hardy Boys.
All right.
All right, there are 8 potions before you. I am going to share a image with each of you of what the 8 potions look like.
Okay.
Let me just edit that real quick. Okay, it is being shown to you now. Can you see it?
Yep.
Sorry, you're sharing this in the Discord?
Nope, in roll 20. It should pop up as a
Oh,
handout.
I apologize. There we go. Sorry, I was expecting. Cool. I think Ulrich is. So, other than just to make sure, other than the potions, there's no apparent door, correct?
Correct.
And none of these have labels, so
None.
I think Ulrich is going to think at Zippo and say, I'm gonna take this this zigzaggy one.
All right.
All right, the second from the last on the right.
Yes. And he says, just remind you, I've got your 2 potions and 2 potions for myself in my pack in case I keel over.
I shall remember.
Very good. Bottoms up.
All right. All right. So you drink the potion.
Mm-hmm.
Make a DC Constitution saving throw.
Saw that coming. As a quick, just as a note,
Mm-hmm.
Zippo, if he has to do any of those, I believe he gets a +5 to all his saving throws if he's within 10 feet of me,
Okay.
just to let you know.
Plus
My
5, you
save-
said?
Yep, +5. My save is a meager 11.
Okay. Roll 7d6, please.
$25.
Okay, just about the average. Take 25 points of poison damage as you ingest this thick, tarry liquid. It feels like you're drinking blood. It's got a slightly metallic taste to it.
Yeah.
Suppose going to reach for a potion.
Okay. Which potion do you reach for?
The third one.
The third one. Okay. Okay.
Nothing at the bottom of the bottle, right?
The liquid kind of clings to the edges and smells vitrolic. You can't really see much on the bottom.
Okay.
All right, Zippo.
Yeah.
Roll a Constitution saving throw.
That's a 32.
Damn.
Okay.
Look at that good boy crit.
Let's go.
So the concoction looks, smells, and tastes like a healing potion. However, it's actually poison masked by an illusion spell. It does nothing to you. You shrug off its effects.
And he's gonna grab another one.
Okay.
The 5th one.
Hold on now. Maybe we can like investigate these before we just go down on them.
Suppose yeah. After this one, I think he downs the 5th one.
Okay. All right. So When you drink this potion, you suddenly feel light. Like the fate of the world, it no longer applies to you. You feel real good. You kind of wiggle your toes as they leave the ground slightly. And you realize that you're flying.
As it happens, Zipple's like, I'm a dragon now! Yes!
So, you have a flying speed equal to your walking speed for the moment.
Zipple's just zooming around the room for a minute.
While he flies about, Ulrich is going to. He's going to investigate number 4 from the left.
Okay.
He just wants to, like, open it, smell it, try and, like, just discern what it's like.
Okay. Number 4. Okay. This potion is purple and odorless. It's slightly opaque, so you can see through it, although it's cloudy. There seems to be no harmful smells to it. It actually smells slightly sweet.
Okay. He'll take a drink.
Okay. Nothing happens.
Okay.
Gonna fly in and grab another potion. The second one.
Okay. Are you going to drink it?
Yep.
Just drink it, no investigations?
Nope, just chugging.
Okay. Let me flip back to the other page. Okay. This potion is separated into brown, silver, and gray layers that each taste differently. They go from a grainy, sandy taste to a rocky taste. You've chewed rocks before as a nervous habit as a kid, when you used rocks to cool your liquids. It tastes like rocks.
Cool. Any other effects?
Not that you can tell.
Awesome.
Which one was that?
Number 2. So there is 1, 6, and 8 left.
Ulrich will try number 8.
Number 8. All right.
Once again, he'll kind of like discern it, looking at it first.
Okay. This seems to be something that is a violet color. It's slightly goopy. When you tilt the vial from side to side, it doesn't immediately follow gravity, as if it's kind of a little bit pasty and thick. It reminds you of mucus.
Yeah, he'll bottle that right back up. He's not going to drink.
Okay.
Zippo, grab it and drink it.
All right, make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, Kurt felt that one. Both ends of the spectrum, boys.
+5,
That's,
right?
Yep, 13.
Okay.
Look at my boy crit.
Yeah.
The other way.
Zippo, roll
Crit's a crit,
12.
boys.
Roll 12d6, please.
$48.
Okay, you take 48 points of damage.
I guess number
Zippo,
one.
after taking the 48 points of damage, is going to grab the last two and chug them both at the same time.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Well, I will say this. Ulrich has time to down one of them before you do, or at least inspect one of them. You might snatch it out of his hand and we can see how that goes. But you're taking on the purple worm effects while that goes on, which is what you just drank.
Understandable.
Ulrich would at least look at number one,
Okay.
but I don't think he'll stop Zippo from doing that.
Okay. I can describe number one for you then. The potion's transparent. Liquid has something floating in it. Looks like a sliver of a bronze fingernail. Maybe a sliver of a claw from a bronze dragon.
Well, Zippo rips it out of his hands
Mm-hmm.
and
Chugs.
All right. So that first potion that Zippo ripped out of your hand, Zippo, you begin to grow.
Oh.
So the potion ends up being kind of, as you lick your lips, reddish in color. And continuously expands your shape. So you feel the effects of the enlarge spell. Now, enlarge, correct me if I'm wrong, that puts you up one size category?
I think so.
typically, yeah.
Just double checking that. Okay. The target size doubles in all dimensions and its weight is multiplied by 8. This growth increases its size by 1 category. So you're small, right, Zippo?
Yep.
So you are now a medium creature that can fly and has some other effects. And you're basically twice your size.
Zippo's like looking at his like now flying medium-sized body. He's like, all these potions have been great.
Zippo has more of the appearance of a dragonborn at this point than he does a kobold. Zippo, you're also going to have advantage on strength checks and strength saving throws while under this effect. If you have any weapons, they also grow to match your new size. While these weapons are enlarged, the target's attacks will deal an extra 1d4 damage. So just keep enlarge noted for yourself if you could.
Yeah. One potion left.
You said you were going to drink that as well, right?
Yup.
Okay. Go back over here. Okay. Roll a DC 16 Constitution saving throw. You make it. All right. This one, you beat the saving throw. You don't take any additional damage, so you're good.
Suppose like gonna look to Ulrich like we got this.
A door opens on the north wall. It's 5 foot wide.
Yeah. Good thing I didn't drink. I would have had to squeeze through.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ulrich, you probably wouldn't have been able to make it through that door if you had been enlarged.
Well, I guess we can go through.
Yeah.
All right, so you look at the door, and there's an immediate cliff on the other side, Zippo.
Hey.
Hey.
And we're going to go over to Roger now.
Okey-dokey.
All right. Roger.
I'm here.
Hello.
I've just unscrewed the rod sticking out of the back of this bridge and stepped over to the other side.
Yep. So, to describe this rod again, since it's been 2 weeks, at the bottom of it, there's the point where the screw was, so it's a circulated screw-like texture to it. It comes up in a bronze tube with kind of like, I think I described it as the sides of a pen cap on either side, but only like the lip of the pen. So it's the top of the pen where the pen would fit in isn't there. It's just this little dangly thing on each side around the metal. So there's 2 of them.
Well, I'll hold on to that and see if I can use it later.
Okay.
What do I see up to the north there?
You see many gears set into the floor, made out of bronze metal.
Okay, I'll get a little closer and see exactly
Okay.
what configuration they're on.
Before you get farther, please make a dexterity saving throw.
$25.
Okay. Here. So back up as much as you need to.
Sorry, I didn't see. There. Okay, so we're
Here, a metal scythe phases out of the wall and swipes across the entirety of the hall before disappearing again. You manage to dodge out of the way of it.
Alright, well, I will have dodged forward, I guess.
Okay.
No scythes jump out of the wall to hit me while I'm standing here, do they?
Correct.
Alright. Time to get the wooden spear back out and start probing the space ahead of us.
Okay. You push directly in front of you, and another scythe passes, barely missing your nose, right in front of you.
Very close. Hmm.
It by the way, the scythe passes the opposite direction as the other one.
Gotcha.
So the first one went left to right, the second one went right to left.
I'll lean back ever so slightly
Okay.
and test that with the spear again.
It goes right to left now. Or left to right, excuse me.
Okay, so they alternate directions each time they pass.
Yes.
Cool. So if it's on the right side, I will stand all the way to the left and quickly kind of like try and tumble through this away from the scythe blade.
Okay. If you're making a tumble, you could do an acrobatics for that if you'd like.
Yeah. 15.
Okay. You still managed to set off the trap, but you're far enough away that it, because you judged where it was coming out of, you're able to avoid it. Very barely, though. You feel like if you were in the middle, you still would have been hit.
Gotcha. Okay. I guess I'll do the same thing and kind of probe the area in front of me with this expendable spear.
Um, so, yeah, I guess that's a good point. The spear probably was hit by that first one. Do you have multiple spears by chance?
I don't think so. I think I just have the one.
Okay. Well, I'll say for the first one you were able to get it clear, but this time with the probe, just because I didn't mark it as such, and I'm not going to go back on my own word. This time, you hit the ground in front of you, and a scythe again comes out of the left wall and goes right, slicing your spear in half.
Cool. I will have to get Zippo to fix that later. Or just get a new one. They're pretty cheap. How far out of the ground are the gears? Are they set all the way down into the stone, or are they like protruding up a little bit?
They are level with the floor. The tops of them are. So they are set into the stone in a circular alcove.
Have they moved at all?
They have not. They are all still.
Well, this scythe went left to right, then it's on the right side right now. So I'm gonna try and tumble past this one as well.
Okay.
Acrobatics is 25.
Okay. You tumble past, missing the trigger.
All right. Might, if I can draw on the map here, this one is on the left, that one is on the right, and that one's still on the right.
So this one went left to right and then went right to left. So it's on the left again because you hit the middle one twice. So the middle one's in line with the top one. Oh, actually, no, you didn't activate a second time. You're right. I'm wrong.
I believe I activated the middle
you're-
one three times.
Yeah, you're good.
All right. Well, we'll, I think very, very carefully attempt to use half of a spear.
Okay.
To prod in front of us here.
Okay. You tap the ground. Don't see anything happening.
Okay. I'll step forward.
Okay.
And if nothing happens, I'll repeat the process, tapping in front before stepping forward.
Sounds good. You continue to tap and not set off trap.
Okay. Then we take another step forward. And I'll go ahead and do that for the whole length of the room. Stopping, of course, if I encounter a trap.
Okay. You do the whole length and do not encounter any more traps.
Okay. Well, that feels safer over here, so I'm going to assume the rest of this is safe for the moment, and take a closer look at these gears. Do any of them look like they have a place where I could insert this rod and maybe turn the mechanism?
So you see 3 areas where you might be able to screw the rod in. The first of which is at this gear at the center. The second one is here at this center of the gear. And the third one is right in front of the door.
Well, let's try the one right in front of the door. Actually, yeah. Let's try the one right in front of the door. So I'll move up there. And attempt to screw the little key rod into it.
Okay. You screw in the rod until it stops moving.
Alright. I guess now we'll attempt to turn it. It screws in clockwise, I assume, right?
Yes.
We'll attempt to turn the gears clockwise.
Okay. By the way, no, sorry. Okay. So you try and turn the rod, and you can't seem to have purchase on it. It kind of slips in your grip. It's just a tube, right? This gear seems to be fairly big. So you're unable to turn the gear.
I'll try doing it counterclockwise.
The rod begins unscrewing.
Yep, that's kind of what I expected. All right. Now, if I'm remembering correctly, the 2 little wings folded up.
They do seem to have hinges at the top, but you try pulling at them and they don't seem to come to.
Not even when it's tightened in all the way?
Yes.
All right. Well, I'll remove it from this gear and we'll attempt to screw it in this one here.
Okay. You screwing it in clockwise again?
I mean, I can attempt to screw it in counterclockwise, but presumably it is threaded to go in clockwise.
Yeah, you turn it and turn it and turn it clockwise. It doesn't seem to go down at all or tighten. So then you try the other way?
Yeah.
Okay. It screws all the way in until you can't screw it anymore.
I mean, we'll inspect the hinges and see if we can lift the little wing flaps up.
Do a investigation or an inspection, actually. An inspect is fine. Right? That's a skill?
No, there's
No.
just investigation.
Investigation, yeah. All right, do that one.
22.
Okay. It looks like the top of the device might be able to be pushed in. You didn't notice it before because it's kind of an ornate design on top in a circular pattern. And you push down on it and the wings pop out, spring out to look like a T.
Excellent.
You also hear a clicking sound beneath the device.
And that is presumably it locking to the gear. Well, we'll go ahead and attempt to rotate this clockwise.
Okay. So you easily are able to turn this big gear. You're standing on the inner part of it, so you kind of have to walk to stay in line to have the purchase. But like it's not too difficult to do because it's not turning as fast as you're turning the. You see what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
All right. So the gear continues to spin. It seems like a gear beneath the big gear to your right also begins to spin, but not the big gear itself or any of the gears north of the gear you're turning.
So it's not actually interlocked with them?
Not this gear doesn't seem to be. It seems to be interlocked with a hidden gear beneath the big one.
Interesting.
You hear a scraping sound above you toward the center of the chamber in the ceiling.
I look at where I hear that coming from.
All right. You see some drips of liquid falling from the ceiling before a large gelatinous object falls from the ceiling and lands in the center of the room, just after the slice, right around the point where the that gear is. It kind of collects itself and reforms into a cube.
Exciting.
It looks gelatinous in nature.
Yeah. Well, I'm not sure if I can use this for anything. So we might be on shooting it. I'm going to take a pot shot at it.
Okay. Let me just get my combat stuff fired up real quick.
I need to get a second monitor so I can put my character sheet on one monitor and have the
Yeah,
map up on the other one,
second monitor is definitely handy.
and the third monitor for my notes.
All right. All right. Go ahead and so you're shooting at it. Go ahead and roll attack.
Does a 24 hit?
It does.
Actually, I have advantage because
It hasn't gone in combat.
I could roll better. I didn't, but I could have.
All right.
If 24 hits, then this is a critical, so I will do damage twice.
Hooray.
Once and twice.
Okay.
For a total of 60.
60 damage. All right. The arrow. So you know how in Mythbusters, how they showed how a bullet travels through different things using gelatin,
Ballistics jelly.
ballistics jelly. You kind of see the path of your arrow boom through this 10-foot wide gelatinous cube and go out the other side, even ripping some of the gelatin with it before it kind of coalesces back into a slightly smaller cube, since some of the cube is missing. And at this point, we will roll initiative.
All right. $13. Rip.
Okay, you go first.
Awesome. We shoot it again. And it hasn't gone yet, so I still have advantage.
Yes, but you won't get critical this time.
Yep. Does a 13 hit?
It does.
All right. Damage time 23.
So 23 and What was the L1 50?
The critical hit was 60,
60.
and then yeah, this one is just regular sneak attack, so 23.
Okay. It's still up. I'm as surprised
Uh-huh.
as you are.
I will spend the rest of my turn moving away from it.
Okay.
We're gonna get back in this corner over here. And that'll be my turn.
Okay. The gelatinous cube begins shuddering back and forth very, very quickly. Like it's kind of like a wave at first, almost like if you shook a jello mold. Boom. It pulses, 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 and then shoots forward, slamming into the wall next to you in a straight line. It misses you because you moved to the side, but it is now next to you.
Yep.
Your turn.
I will use my rogue bonus action to disengage,
Mhm.
and then my move to move out of the way
Mhm.
over to here, and then I will shoot it.
All right.
This time with nothing special on the shot. I hit armor class 19.
Yes.
And no sneak attack this time, so just 6 damage.
The cube melts into the gears and disappears. Hissing and steam come off of it. There is slime everywhere, kind of steaming throughout the chamber where it was. It doesn't seem to be affecting the metal much. Maybe it looks a little bit more polished. But yeah, otherwise there's just kind of a acidic smell to the air.
That's disgusting. I don't think I have any empty vials to try and collect any, hazardous as that might be to my health.
Yeah, Zippo might want to taste that later, right?
I did pour out a flask of oil last session, so I do have an empty flask. Sure, I'll try and gather some up.
Okay.
In this empty flask. I'm going to put more care into not getting it on my hands than I am into actually collecting it. So if I can't pick it up without getting my hands dirty, I just won't.
You probably will not be able to do that then.
All right.
It's pretty. Think of it like trying to scoop up antibacterial soap from the ground. Like.
Yeah.
It's congealed,
Fair
but
enough.
it's turning more and more into liquid.
All right. We'll just pretend it doesn't exist.
Okay.
Or I'll let it evaporate or dissolve into the floor, whichever it appears to be doing faster.
Okay.
And then I guess return to the rod I was turning.
Yep.
Is it as far in the clockwise direction as it will go?
You could continue spinning it if you'd like. You stopped.
Yeah.
Okay. You hear more rumbling up in the ceiling as you turn it.
Okay. I continue to turn it.
Okay. Oops. That's not what I wanted to trap in. Another gelatinous cube falls from the ceiling and lands here.
Okay. I think I see a pattern. I will shoot this one.
Is that the you said you won't shoot this one or you will shoot this one?
I will shoot this one.
Okay. Have you rolled
Uh,
or did I?
yep, getting my my miserable rolls out of the way. It does a 13 hit.
It does.
Hooray! Then this will be a crit because it.
Okay.
So 33 and 19 is 42 and 10 is 52 damage.
Not as good, but still hit it. Similar effect as the last one. It doesn't go all the way through though.
Okay.
The arrow begins dissolving within the cube. All right, what's your initiative? It's better than mine. I got a 2, so go ahead.
So the number I rolled on the die was a 2, but I have plus 10.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I'm going to do what I did last time.
Mhm.
And step off to the side and back a little bit and shoot it again.
Okay.
And we established a 13 hit, so a 16 should hit. Damage time. 18.
All right. It's still up.
Yep. And that's my turn.
Okay, doke. The cube begins moving forward and activates the trap, which slices it. And the cube disintegrates.
Oh, now I have to relocate my lines. Damn you, cube.
Your lines?
The painting that I've done on the map here. For which side of
Oh, yeah. I see. I'll give you a left here. There you go.
Oh, thank you.
You shouldn't have gotten rid of that R. That was your better R. Anyway. All right.
You're not wrong. It was the better R. Okay, so it looks like turning this one clockwise just continues to release gelatinous cubes. I'm gonna try turning it counterclockwise.
Okay. You're able to turn it counterclockwise. It doesn't come out of the socket, so your impression was most likely correct. You do hear scraping above you in similar areas to where the cubes dropped from before. You can just see with your elvish vision the two chambers that opened up are slowly closing. The back one before the first one.
All right, we'll draw little shapes here where they fell out of.
Yeah, actually, I marked it wrong, but it's like back here.
Okay, sure. Yep. And then and I'm going to keep turning it counterclockwise.
Okay. After the second one closes, the mechanism seems to jam and stop spinning abruptly.
Okay. So, So it doesn't do anything further counterclockwise there. I could exhaustively release all of their trapped gelatinous cubes, or I could try a different gear. I'm gonna go ahead and push the button on the top of it, hoping to unlatch.
Okay. They fall back into place through gravity.
Okay, and I'll go about unscrewing the thing.
Okay, it does unscrew.
And I'll move up and try the one on the door again.
Okay.
Putting it in and screwing it in, pressing the button to raise the flaps.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll try turning this one clockwise.
Okay. You turn it, and it turns easily. And it begins to spin. The platform below you spins, as do the gears on either side, as well as this gear, and the top gear as well. So all of the gears on the upper section begin spinning.
Including the gelatinous cube one.
Yes.
Exciting. Do the gears on the lower section spin?
No.
Okay. Cool.
How long do you spin it for?
Until something happens.
Okay. After one rotation, you hear a great scraping sound coming from the room. Ulrich, Zippo, Belzian, and Yarvik all hear a rumbling sound coming from the central chamber. And Roger, you see the walls on the east and west side of the passage slowly begin progressing toward you, coming outward, making the room slowly smaller.
What if I stop turning?
You try and stop turning, but the gear continues to turn without you, including the mechanism.
Does the door look like it is open?
No.
Exciting. Am I able to get the key out of this gear?
What do you do to try?
We'll push the button to remove the handles and attempt to unscrew it.
You push the button, the handles lower, and you more so hold the device in place as the the gear rotates for you to really pull it out. And you're able to unscrew it and pull it free of the device. And from there, I think we're going to take a break. We're at the 9 o'clock mark, and we'll come back with Roger holding this rod with the walls closing in from either side. We'll be back in a moment. Don't go too far. We'll see you soon. Hello, and welcome back from the break. Hope you didn't go too far or drink too many poison bottles, because we are back for more room shenanigans with our group. We last left off with Roger with a slowly closing, the chamber slowly closing in around him.
Dun dun dun. Are we still with Roger?
Yeah, we are.
Okay, I am going to get out one of my immovable rods.
Okay.
Place it up against one of the closing in walls and activate it.
Okay.
And without checking to see if it's working to stop the walls, I'm going to go to the other wall and do the same thing.
Okay. Cool. At that point, do you check, or?
Yes. Now
Okay.
I will check.
All right. Now, verbatim from the book, it says a creature may use a DC 30 strength check, but I'm gonna say that it's not just creatures that can do it; it's any mechanism as well, right? That would make sense. Fair.
That seems reasonable to me. I mean, I'm operating off of the 3.5 assumption, which is you could move it with a strength check or by just literally applying enough force to overcome
Right.
like the 5,000 pound limit that it
Yeah.
had.
Yeah. I don't think it lists. Oh, it says 8,000 pounds now, which is pretty cool.
Cool.
But I'm gonna rule it that I'm gonna roll. You know what? I'm gonna roll off just for suspense because it's kind of hard to do a masked roll, in my opinion, without knowing a little bit more about Roll20. So I'm just gonna roll off. Okay. Okay. So the walls do seem to slow down in their advance. Especially when you apply the second one. It seems like the two are connected together. So when one was placed, it still kind of was pushing at the rod and getting it to move some. But with the two rods being applied pressure against both of them, it's kind of a combination of 16,000 pounds of pressure, or 8 tons, right? It seems to have slowed the walls down substantially, but they are still slowly advancing forward at about half the speed they were.
Cool. And I've already pulled the thing out of this one. The middle gear is rotating with this one, you said.
Yes. All the northern gears are turning. They seem to be straining, and they've slowed down and kind of are shuddering some.
Hmm. Well, I'm going to go ahead and reinsert the device into the northern gear here. Push the button to open the wings up and attempt to spin it back in the opposite direction now that I've got some other force here helping me out.
Okay. It doesn't seem to be moving in the opposite direction. Even with... you can make a strength check to try and force it, though.
I can attempt a strength check. I don't think I'm going to make the strength check. I got a 20. 19
It's a good
plus
roll.
1.
It's an excellent roll. But you're still not able to turn the great brass gear in the opposite direction.
Yep, that's kind of what I expected. All right. Well, I'll go through the whole process of removing the key here.
Okay.
And I guess I should actually check out the door.
Okay. The door itself seems to be a round door, just the same as the other ones, except this one has no hole in the center of it. There's nowhere to grip it.
Well, I'll I guess in absence of other things to try, I'll come down here to where the southern set of gears are, and screw the rod in here and attempt to turn these.
Sure. I will also, at this point, show you where the wall is currently at. about there.
Interesting. For the parts that are in the pit, is the wall seem to be hanging over the area of the pit, or is the walls lining the inside of the pit going all the way down also? Moving towards the center.
From here, you can't tell if it goes down into the pit from the angle, but it seems like the wall is advancing despite it. Now, the bridge itself is kind of hinged, so the only place where it's kind of on the floor itself is where that little alcove was where it landed. So it looks like if the wall did sink into the floor, it would hit the bridge. So you can probably assume that it's above the bridge. It's not going to stop at the bridge itself.
Okay. Good to know. All right, well, I'll try and turn this lower gear.
All right, so you screw the device in.
Yep, push the button, open the flaps, and we'll try.
Okay. Which direction do you turn it?
Clockwise.
Okay. You turn the device clockwise. How long do you turn it?
How quickly can I get it one full rotation?
Fairly quickly.
We'll do that and see if it happens.
Okay.
See if anything happens.
Nothing seems to happen with one full rotation, except for the walls growing a little closer.
I mean, I guess we're gonna turn it again.
Okay. So you turn it clockwise?
Yep.
Okay, about halfway through the rotation, it stops. It locks. It like catches up. Like you can't turn it anymore.
Interesting. You said that the top gear is turning the middle gear as well. Does that mean that the gelatinous cube chutes have opened back up now?
They have.
Interesting. Well, that would probably be very scary if there was no place to dodge.
Yeah, if there was a different order that you would maybe turn those, or maybe if you had continued turning, if you had figured out how to turn it at the door, this would have been a little bit more of a sticky situation right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's still pretty sticky.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get me wrong. How high up is the ceiling?
I think it was 30 feet.
I'm not a great climber, so with the thing that's open above me, what can I see up in that chute?
Remnants of goop dripping down. And it seems to be a straight up passage about 10 feet wide by 10 feet wide. Looks like it just contained the gelatinous cube and that's it.
All right. I'm gonna try turning this gear counterclockwise now.
Okay.
And maybe a little faster if I can manage it.
Fair enough. How far or long do you turn it?
I will reassess the situation when the wall bumps into me.
Okay. You madly turn the device the other direction, half a turn, a full turn, another full turn, and then it clunks into place again. It stops moving.
Well, this doesn't seem like it accomplished anything. Okay. And I can't see anything else that has changed as a result of that.
this wheel began to turn when you did it backwards. When you went counterclockwise, this wheel started turning as well.
If I try and turn it clockwise now, does that wheel also turn?
Yes.
Well, we'll go all
And
the
when
way.
you're turning it clockwise, also this wheel turns now. So it seems like when you turned it clockwise with this one, when it clunked into place, you dropped it in to activate this one. And when you went the other direction, that clunk activated the third one.
All right, well, we'll spin it clockwise now.
Okay. Just gonna close these walls in a little bit more because time. All right. So you continue to turn it for 2, 2.5, 3. The room is filling with wall and noise as you can hear the device straining against it. You're kind of pushed a little bit inward, right?
Okay, so it's bumped into me now.
Yep.
Can I see any effect at all from having turned it this way?
Effect on what?
Anything.
You could do a perception.
Sure. 22.
You see that the door is about halfway down. It's lowered into the ground.
All right. Well, I think we spin frantically and try and get the door down a little bit further.
Okay. You do so. It lowers more. You're afraid that if you spin it any longer, you won't be able to get the device out. As the walls are continuing to close in.
The key, you mean?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll frantically disengage the key.
Okay.
And make a mad dash for the door.
Okay.
I'm going to stop right here, right at the door, and try and like lean in, grab my 2 immovable rods, which I thankfully put in while I was right in front of the door.
Yeah, you did it like I think 10 feet in, right here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was standing on this side of
Yeah.
that. So I'll be here. I'd like to try and grab both of those, which are hopefully in arm's reach from the middle.
They
where I
are
am.
now, yes.
Careful planning. Definitely not blind luck. And escape with the immovable rods and my arms.
Yep. All right. And also the rod, the key rod that you had.
Yeah.
All right. The walls close and seal the room, and then the door raises up. You hear loud groaning sounds as the room presumably begins to reset. You're in a T intersection. You see 2 doors, one to either side of you, marked similarly, with skilled above your door.
Ooh.
All right, we're gonna
Looks like,
go ahead.
I would say, looks like that was the individual test done.
Yep, excellent work. All right, let's go over to the strong boys. That's Yarvik and Belzian.
We're here to pump
Right.
you up.
So there seems to be a big hole here.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we want to go down there.
No,
Bless you, bless you.
probably not.
Bless you, bless you. Oh my. My cat just sneezed a lot.
I'm thinking we're going to have to kind of, I don't know, finger, crawl, shimmy, something or other.
That sounds like work. I could just try throwing you across.
I mean, is that? I don't know. Is that a thing? Can we fastball special?
How long is the pit, do you figure?
30
You're
feet,
measuring
30
it 30 feet.
30 feet?
Mm-hmm.
How much do you weigh, Yarvik?
Hold on.
I can probably throw you 10 feet.
I don't think I picked a weight for Yarvik. I'll have to correct that. I don't know how heavy halflings are, but I mean, he's a pretty ripped little halfling, so.
You're pretty beefy. You're more athletic than I am. Okay, so maybe we could shimmy across. Do you think maybe we should tie each other together, or?
Well, because then you'd have to like, if one falls and then both would fall. I don't know if tying is. Are there tie-offs on the walls?
Yeah, what do we got to work with along the edges of the walls here?
It looks like a slight ledge that juts out slightly from the wall that you can hold on to, and that's it. There's a pit below and above, flush with the wall otherwise. In fact, the wall angles out or inward, not inward, outward away from where you are, so you wouldn't even have purchase with your feet. You'd be hanging just by your hands.
This is just like hanging on the monkey bars on the playground. It's all about that upper body strength.
The
We're
monkey
pretty
bars.
You get me.
All right. So what do you think? I guess we just go.
You can shimmy. I could. I think I could run across the walls. It's only 65 feet or so.
Is
Or
that-
maybe, yeah. I can jump across the pit as well, I think. Aren't halflings famously good jumpers?
we can definitely jump, but I don't know what do we land on. You have to. We don't have room to like gain speed, and I don't.
I think about 10 feet of space would be an appropriate amount to get a good horizontal jump going. Pending DM ruling. But I believe that's what you need to get a running start on a jump.
Yeah, you usually need a running start. You have that with the 10 feet if you step back, but you won't be able to go this way. You'd only be able to go straight out.
Well, I think we could probably hold each other's weight if one of us slips. So I'm all for tying each other together, unless you don't want to.
No, I mean that's fine. I guess we'll be okay.
I've already fallen for you, friend. I'll fall with you as well.
Oh, Yarvik elbows him.
Nah, let's get this hempen rope going.
All right.
We'd like to tie each other together tightly, not like like we're kidnapped or anything, but like similar to how mountain climbers would tie a rope together.
Okay. There's not a use rope check, so how did we tie ropes before? Remind me, Amethyst, how did we tie ropes before? Was it just
I believe the default way to do it in 5th edition is yes or no on proficiency with the tool, and then pick
right?
the ability score that you want to make the check with.
So are
I
either
think
of
we
you
use
proficient
dexterity.
in a rope? In a climber's
I do not
kit, I
have
think.
proficiency in a rope or climbing kits.
I'm
The only
gonna-
tool that. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I'm gonna say no from me.
Okay, so it would be a straight dexterity check.
Let's tie some ropes. Or not.
All right. You both tie ropes around each other or yourselves, whichever you'd prefer. Or maybe you both tie the rope around one person by accident. I'm not sure. But what I do know is that ropes are tied.
And I guess we're just gonna go one hand step by one hand step.
Yeah, it would just work around.
Okay.
Hopefully nothing like a black dragon or something comes out of the pit, because that would be a very vulnerable position to be in.
All right. So these basically, are you starting off from the left-hand side, or I heard some discussion of throwing and jumping? Like, what's the plan?
So I guess we got to work it out. Do you want to try to jump, and then I can kind of like belay you, or do you want to just kind of crawl around the outside here?
I don't think I'd be able to get enough of a running start to jump in the direction that I want to, because this doorway is pretty tight. So I think we're gonna be shimmying. Is that the word? Climbing, I guess.
Shimmying, yep. Shimmying. I mean, shimmying would be, I guess, with your feet, but you can shimmy with your hands.
Sure.
Just going around the perimeter in a clockwise fashion.
Mm-hmm.
Because I do not see very many other ways. Now, I could possibly run across this vertical surface, but I feel like that would be cheating.
You can try that if you'd like.
I mean, if
I
you
don't
think you
want
can make it, and then you could just haul me across.
Do we figure out how heavy Yarvik is? I know you're a smaller creature, but you're probably still pretty heavy. With all your gear and stuff.
I'm just gonna shimmy.
Okay.
Let's shimmy. Shimmy, shimmy. Shimmy, shimmy.
All right.
So how do we?
So you get out onto the ledge, and the way we're going to do this one, instead of strength checks to see if you can push things, this is an endurance thing. So what's going to happen is every 5 feet, you'll roll to see if you get below 15. If you do, you fall, and we'll see what happens from there.
Oh boy!
Oh, dear.
The first 5
What are we
feet is
rolling?
free because you have a corner. Every corner where it's an innie, you will have a free 5-foot step. However, the corner that's an outie will be a harder check. I'll tell you if you pass when you get there. So that means you only really need to get to here, because the last 2 would be free.
Okay, so
So you move out to here, and this is a free 5-foot step because you have the corners. All right, so roll a strength check there. All right, you can continue moving on. Belzin, you'll need to stay within 5 feet of him since you've tied off the rope.
Do you want a strength save or a strength check?
Strength check, athletics check. So it's the same. It's the same for Jaeger because he's got a +8 to athletics. All right, move on.
This is going pretty good.
All right, Yarvik. Okay, Yarvik falls. He is now dangling below you, Belzian. Your strength check will now increase to a 20 because you are now holding up Yarvik while also hanging onto the wall. Roll, please.
Oh, well, don't go down there.
Okay, you both fall. You fall for about 30 feet before you land back on this ledge and take 3d6 points of damage each, so 10 points of damage.
Do I have time to use my reaction to slow fall?
You can, but when you
Eh.
land, you still take 10 points of damage somehow.
Oh,
Well, this sucks. Also, I don't know if
are
there's
we?
gonna be. I don't know if there's gonna be much point to be tied off.
Okay, well, I untie the rope.
What?
Are we on like a different floor? I don't know. I'll go first this time.
Is there a rock I can throw into the pit?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna toss a rock into the pit. So if it lands, it's not gonna land on my head. So
So you throw it into the pit, and
I
it
just kind of
okay. It lands right next to you, like right in the same space as you.
Hmm.
In fact, let me just make sure. Yeah, it misses you. It's a 50-50 shot.
I think it's raining rock.
Belzian, you're good. Keep going.
I'm going. Look at me go.
Okay, you're still good. Yarvik falls and takes 9 points of damage.
What happened, Yarvik? You go back?
indeed.
All right, you're good. Belzian, move to the corner.
Ah!
Welcome back.
Hello.
There's got to be a better way to do this. This is just silly.
9 points of damage.
Nine. Okay. I'm starting to get a bit of a headache here. Do you think it'd be easier to climb or walk on a rope across? Like a tightrope?
How would we secure the rope to the other side?
Hmm.
What's to our right?
It's just a straight wall. No ledge or anything. And a rumbling noise, a strange rumbling noise from somewhere on the other side of that wall.
Sounds like the wall is hungry.
I mean, you could try your wall run thing.
Yeah, can I try using Step of the Wind and vertical movement to
Could
go
you
up the right
just
wall?
ping that onto the chat for me? Just want to double check it. Okay, so are you sure it's Step of the Wind that you're looking for? You can move along vertical surfaces. Okay, there it is. And liquids on your turn. Unarmored movement improvement. That's the one.
Yeah, because I don't think I'd be able to get there in 45 feet, but I could probably get there within 90 feet.
Yeah. Yeah, you won't need to even jump or use a key point for the Step of the Wind part, right? Because unarmored movement is just a thing you can do? Or is that also key?
Unarmed movement is just a thing I can do.
All right. So, you can move 40 feet, right?
I got 45.
Okay. Well, if you measure, you've got 35 feet just doing that. Technically 30.
I was thinking of running for the urgency.
Okay, you can do that.
Okay.
That's fine.
To disengage from this ledge.
Honestly, I would say it would be probably more realistic to show it that way, right? You're kind of dashing across.
As opposed to casually strolling.
Yep.
Yeah, I would like to run to this corner.
Okay. You do. Go ahead and move.
Look at me.
All right, Yarvik, you're alone.
Okay. Now, let's try to figure some kind of rope thing out.
If you shoot an arrow over here with a rope, I will try my best not to deflect it with my awesome reflexes.
It's not a bad idea. So try to tie a rope to a regular arrow and kind of, I don't want to shoot a full shot. I just want to kind of lob it over. Just kind of lob it over at Belzian.
A normal arrow?
Yeah, normal arrow, not one of the special. Well, I mean, it doesn't really matter. I mean, it'll come back to me anyway. The black arrow, that's fine.
Okay.
All right, I got a job. I got a job for you, mister. Say to the arrow.
So what do you do?
I'm going to tie off a rope
Okay.
to the arrow and halfway down the shaft. Let Belzian know that it's coming over to kind of watch out and be ready to catch. And then I'm just going to just shoot it across. I'm not trying to hit anything. Do I have to roll to hit?
You do. Yes. You're basically aiming for the back wall, not Belzian, right?
Correct.
Yeah, I would say you still have to aim because otherwise it's gonna, or you have to try and hit something. So can you tell me where you are looking to shoot? Like what square?
Wherever he's not. How about the square to his right?
This one.
Yeah, the one. Excuse me, the one to. If he's facing me, the one to his left, my right.
Okay. So you're trying to arc it so that it's kind of like an easy clatter to the ground at that location.
Exactly. I'm
Okay.
just trying to literally get a rope over there.
It basically finds exactly where you're aiming to go. Lands over there, but just as quickly disappears and appears in your hand. The rope, the rope kind of slips off of the ledge as this is happening because the arrow is no longer there, and begins to fall.
Okay, so we're just gonna haul the rope back up, and then use a regular arrow.
All right, I was waiting for Belzian to say something, but he didn't. So, yep, that's exactly what happens.
And we shoot it. Sorry, go ahead.
Unless Belzian wants to do anything as the rope's falling, of course.
I was gonna rugby tackle it if it's anywhere on the ledge,
Okay.
but I don't know how.
Yeah, give me a
far
reflex
where the
save.
arrow needs to
Give
be.
me a dexterity saving throw.
Dex save. Don't go anywhere.
All right, you
Okay.
miss it.
What?
We tried.
Maybe there's a bit of a delay on these rings of communication, you know? Some latency.
All right, do it again. Regular arrow.
Okay. All right, you arc it. It kind of clatters against the stone.
Tackle
Belzian.
time.
Okay, go ahead and do a reflex save. This will be a lower save. You rolled as low as you could on that one.
Yes.
All right. You grab
wasn't
the
paying
you
attention.
you snatch the arrow before it can roll off the ledge or clatter off the ledge.
Okay, I've got it. Now what do you figure?
You remember how far we had to fall before it would, like, take effect? Like, before the warp thing would take effect?
3 feet or so?
So, what's the door over there look like? Can you open that door?
Oh, sure. Not letting go of the arrow, I will open the door. It's a bit stuck. It doesn't really want to open. I suppose I could tie the arrow to it with the rope. If
Yeah,
there's a
like
handle.
tie the rope to the door.
I'd like to investigate.
So the door is a
see if there's
round
any-
door. You actually can open it.
Okay.
There's
It
a
was just-
hole in the center of it, and you push at it. Let's say with a strength check, you're able to open it.
Would you like me to make a strength check
Yeah, go ahead.
or athletics check?
Yeah, athletics. Yep, you're able to open it.
Okay. Does there appear to be anywhere to tie an arrow with a rope attached?
You could maybe brace it around the other side of the door.
Let's take a look.
All right, you see a T intersection with Roger to your right.
Yo, Roger.
Welcome.
Uh,
Did you hear that awful sound earlier?
do you mean the hungry walls, the rummy tumbly of the tummy of the dungeon?
Yeah, I think I was just narrowly escaped being a snack.
Oh. What kind of blocks did you have in your room? Anyways, I digress. We're trying to get Yarvik over this big old hole. I'm sure you had a big old hole in your little section there, too.
Seems easy, just climb around the ledge.
When you try and move toward him, you're not able to. You moved just before I placed it down. I was trying to beat you to it. All right, now you go ahead and try now. Oh, it's still not working. Great. Okay. You can't move past your section.
I'll ask Belzian to describe it to me.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, so the room looks like this. Blah, blah, blah. There's a big hole in the ledge on the side. I mean,
Sounds easy.
go ahead and
Just climb on the ledge.
Oh, yes. Not as easy as it sounds.
Is the ledge
Anyways,
slippery?
it's just very small, and it takes a lot of effort. You have to have very muscular fingers, I think.
All right, try moving through it now. All right.
I believe it is adequately blocked now.
Excellent.
Okay, well, you just stay over there if you don't want to help.
I literally cannot approach closer and start doing the mime thing next to the at the wall.
Belzian rolls his eyes. Okay, I can hold on to this really tightly, but I'm not sure what you're going to do at your end there, Yarvik.
So you're not able to tie off the rope to the door frame, or anything. You just can't pass. Nothing can pass through that portal. Is that what we're getting at?
So Belzian can pass through it, but there's not really anything to tie on because it's not a door in the traditional sense. It's a round stone disc that he rolled into the wall to move it so that he could exit. So the only way he'd be able to move it or to tie it off is if he braced the rope while holding it against that, and he'd be basically the anchor.
I have some pythons. I'll try and pass them through this invisible barrier.
They clatter against it. It seems like the powers that be that have created this dungeon wish not for those to meddle with other sections.
Now, so much for teamwork.
Your efforts are appreciated. All right.
I know that sounds like an allusion to me. I really did mean the powers that be.
Um,
What's the ground like? Is it just stone? Like, what are the chances
yeah,
of
it's all stone.
smashing this normal arrow into it?
Unlikely. It seems to be made out of a hard stone. Do you want to do a strength check and see if you can hold Yarvik's weight as he swings across?
well, there's
How do
nothing.
you feel about swinging directly into this wall below me?
That's what I was thinking is like if you like pull really hard while I jump, I can kind of like try to like hop off of this little ledge, that the protruding ledge coming from the west, and kind of like push off it or kick off it, do some kind of Roger Belzian kind of jump thing. It's not really halfling friendly, but it's worth a shot.
I would encourage you to also think about the things that you do have at your disposal.
I have a bedroll that weighs 7 pounds. That'll support your weight, hey, Jorvik?
I have a yellow and orange polka dotted dagger and a sporty hat.
It is a good hat, and I'm happy to hear you kept that dagger. Man. I'll hold on tight if you want to try swinging.
Yeah, I mean we can try it. All right,
I can
so
even,
he's
wrap
gonna
around the door here if you think that'll help hold on more.
yeah try that, and yeah just try.
Watch out for the big wall in the middle, by the way.
All right, Belzian, roll a strength check, please.
Don't fail me now. No. You're heavier than you look.
You're rolling with advantage here because you're bracing against the frame of the door. Okay. All right, Yarvik, you jump out. Are you doing anything with this jump, or are you just trying to like jump out in a way where you're jumping this way so you swing more inward? Like, what's your plan?
I'm trying to go straight out.
So you're trying to go straight like this.
Yeah, exactly. I'm trying to miss the wall there to the left, and then I'm sure it will carry me over a little bit.
Yeah, it's gonna be tight. Why don't you give me a maneuverability check? So let's do a dexterity just to see how well you're able to swing this. Okay, yeah, not bad. All right, so you swing like George of the Jungle.
Flying through the air.
Holy shit. You take 17 points of damage as you slam into the wall opposite you. But you have not warped back to the beginning. You swung 30 feet. So it's just like if you fell 30 feet down, but against the wall instead. You're up against the other side, though.
Belsian hears ball,
Crack.
and it echoes up. It echoes up from the. And then okay, so then I'm going to start to climb.
Okay.
Elzian's pulling.
Okay. With the combined effort of you climbing and Belzian pulling, let's do one final strength check for the strength section. Okay, and Yarvik, as he's pulling you, could you give me a strength check as well?
Oh, I thought I just did that.
Oh, maybe you did. Yeah, you did. That's the 21, wasn't it? Yes. Yeah, 10:04. Okay. You are up. Go ahead and move yourself to the other side.
I hate pits.
Another characteristic for Yarvik. Yarvik,
Yay!
as soon as you leave the room, the door rolls shut behind both of you. There is no hole on the side to open the door again.
Out of
Belgium.
curiosity, I will poke at the invisible barrier.
It's gone.
I can move across
Belgium.
now.
Belzade is jumping for joy with one of those like group hug kind of like hey pats on the backs.
All right. Last but not least, the Hardy Boys.
Yeah.
All right, so Zippo, Ulrich, you see a pit directly on the other side of the door.
Okay. Looking at Oregon, like I think I have an idea of what we're supposed to do here, but I don't know if I can lift you.
Yeah, that's true. At this point, I do wish I had taken that fly one.
It would have made more sense.
Yeah,
But hear me out. I have a plan.
okay.
I can fly, right?
Yep.
We got two options: polymorph you into a bird to follow me, or just to remember, we did open the bag once and have like one person hide in it while the others snuck through and held the bag open for them, right? The bag of boarding.
We did do that once, yes.
Okay. Do I feel like that would work now?
Do you feel like that would work now?
I feel like it would. So I'm gonna list that as the second option. I can put you in the bag of boarding, and then me with a fly speed can fly through here.
I mean, that seems like the most judicious use of resources.
Yep. I'll open the bag of boarding.
Goes inside. You know, I don't know if I've been in here yet.
You haven't. This is your first time in Jordan's bag, or I guess Zippo's bag at this point. And it looks like a small office, the office of a writer with a desk. On the desk there are some envelopes that seem to contain papers in them. A chest that appears to be closed, and the desk has several drawers. The ladder in which that you descend down into is missing 2 rungs.
And in a little pile, you see that plate of dragon scale mail I got, and like all the other like odds and ends trinkets that Zippo has collected, just laying in a pile, and it looks like they've been slept on at least once.
Is Brunhilde down here as well?
No, she's with Riff.
Right, I forgot.
Yep.
Cool.
Okay. Seeing that he's in the bag, I'm gonna like fly out over here while holding the bag open.
Okay. You are above an empty pit. You are able to fly. Your hand touches the wall as you're flying, and it immediately sticks to it. As in, like, not like you can't get it off, but like you feel like if you had your hand on it, you could like use it as a grip to climb as well.
Gotcha. I'm gonna stay close to the wall then as I fly around.
Okay, you kind of kick at the wall a little bit just to test it out. You have spider climb as well right now. One of the potions you had it was a potion of climbing.
So you took all the options. That's great.
Yeah. Woohoo! Just let me know if I need to stop anywhere.
You easily are able to navigate through the number 2 figurine, and you come to a door.
Can I open the door?
Give it a shot.
Yay! I'll fly out. I'll set the bag down. I'm assuming I'm on the ground now.
Yep. And the
I'll set the
door
bag down and
shuts
let
behind
Ulrich
you.
out. After we get out, I'm gonna look to Ulrich like, hey, by the way, can I get some of those lay on hands? The poison's taking effect.
Absolutely. Sorry, I was saving that in case things got hairy, but here you go.
Zippo, as you pass through the door, two things happen. You settle to the ground, and you shrink back down to normal size.
Sad.
How bad off are you?
I'm at 17.
Oh my god, you got so freaking lucky with that roll,
I
man.
really did. I
You
had
would've-
65 HP.
You were gonna die if you had not. That potion that you took, that last one, was not a good one to take.
Sorry, I want to clarify. You're at 17 out of how much?
65.
Okay. I will give you 40 back and keep 5 for emergencies.
This is why we have high constitution scores, kids. So
Yeah, I love that you went into the con room.
I mean, con is my second high or my third highest.
I'm
Yeah,
just
charisma.
Zippo does have a high constitution score.
I'm just gonna reveal the curtain a little bit. The last thing that Zippo consumed was something called a pale tincture, which is poison that it has a prolonged effect. Basically, you take 3 1d6 poison damage, and have to make a saving throw every 24 hours.
Oh.
It continues to last.
So is that an ongoing effect then for him right now?
No, because he succeeded on the first save.
Oh, okay, I see.
Yeah, my dex, my con, and my my charisma. My dex, con, and charisma are all my highest scores.
Yeah, it would have been really close if he had failed.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I have that 5 HP left in my pool in case I need to neutralize a poison or something.
That's good thoughts. Well, my thought process when I was like going to take the potions was, Zippo knows Ulrich can heal. Why not take them all?
Yeah. No, absolutely. I was prepared to heal as much as I needed.
All right. Well, you are all reunited.
What's up, boys?
Hey, this place sucks. Let's leave.
I've had a blast so far.
Yeah, it was pretty fun.
We got to swim and everything.
Ours just had a big hole you could fall down.
Ours had a giant water maze, but we were sharks, so it was really cool.
These Bronze Clan members must really lead an interesting life.
They really like pushing around rocks. I don't. Whatever.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of a fully grown dragon in that small room just pushing the rocks around, setting up the puzzles. Someone's got to do it.
Yeah.
Well,
So,
yeah, these puzzles.
go ahead. Sorry.
How to say that these puzzles seem like they're testing very different things. Hopefully, we don't all have to go back through all of the other doors.
I think
that room
not
sounds
very
pretty
strong.
maybe between all of us, we make one good dragon.
Who would be the dragon head?
earlier? That's a good question.
Well, onwards shall we quest?
Is there any looking up here? Is there any like doors or exit or anything?
There is a door. It's actually a passageway that leads upward. It's a spiral staircase. Also, something to note, that I was trying to say, but I didn't want to interrupt conversation, is that
right,
there
sorry.
are banners on either side of the room with the Bronze Dragon Clan symbol on it, which appears to be the kind of the outline of a skull of a bronze dragon. So just like Rift, it's that crown of horns that kind of splay out behind it, the skull.
Can I like move the banners any?
Behind them is Rockwall.
Okay. Okay. I was making sure.
I note the symbol into my notebook.
Okay.
Zippo's just gonna excitedly start walking up the stairs.
Okay. You head upward and out of the trial area. Above, you come out of the same spiral staircase you went down.
Awesome.
Rift is waiting for you in the chamber, as well as several other members of the Bronze Clan, which you recognize by their markings on their arms. They all seem to be smiling in a satisfactory looking way.
Seeing, I'm assuming most of them are dragons.
Dragonborn, humans, dragons.
Oh yeah. Zippo assumes everybody here with the bronze scale marking is automatically a dragon.
Yeah.
So he like the biggest, like toothiest, smiliest grin he can make with his face is what he has on his face right now. And is Brunhild around?
Brunhild runs up to greet you as you come back out.
Perfect. He's like just petting all over Brunhild, just grinning and staring at all the dragon.
Okay. Congratulations, says Rift.
I'm so excited. That was so much fun.
You hear music playing as a slight procession is created as Rift leads you back to the main chamber in which you first met him. Other members of the clan that are with you kind of either like kind of speaking in common to some or draconic to others. Zippo, you're the only one that makes out what they're saying, but the common ones, everybody can make out, of course. Basically saying words of congratulations and calling out several different moments in the trials that they particularly enjoyed. It seems like they had all been watching, including Rift. Yarvik, you're jabbed at for like they kind of mimic the swinging into the wall and then laugh conspiratorially with you. The gelatinous cube fight, as well as the narrow miss of being crushed to death, is called out. The turning into sharks was impressive feint, and one of the members of the Bronze Clan, Dragonborn, hands Zippo a potion and says, "Drink up."
Zippo immediately chugs it.
Okay. I'll tell you what the effects are later.
Okay.
He just hands you a bottle because he knows you'll drink it, and he just like looks at his fellow companions and he says, "Pay up," and then they have to pay him 10 gold each. The things start calming down as you get back to Rift's chambers, and he turns around and lays back down in his great throne. It's more like a long bed. If you've played Dark Souls 1, it's a very similar bed to the one that Guinevere lays in Anne Orlando.
Does anyone have binoculars?
Um, Rift raises a hand, and there's a quiet throughout the chamber. The music cuts off wherever it was coming from, and he starts to speak. You have been tested, and you have passed.
Yay.
So he begins by looking at each of you and saying, "The Bronze Clan, you have heard many things, or you might have judgments about who we are. We are the weakest and the strongest, the meekest and the courageous, the humble and the proud. The tests, the trials that you have undertaken are proof that, despite hardship, you would find a way." He pauses for a moment. Heaves a great sigh. Belzian Gilkis, step forward.
Hello. Bilzian steps forth.
He lowers his head down and blows a small breath. He's right in front of you, so you're within 5 feet of his great head. His head is larger than your whole body. A slow breeze comes out of his mouth. A glittering bronze flecks swirl through the air, surround both your arms, and an intricate pattern that marks you as a bronze member covers your left and right forearm.
Oh, neat. Thank you.
Roger Mays, step forward.
I step forward.
A similar occurrence happens where he blows at you. The breath smells cinnamon, by the way. It does not smell bad. And the markings grow up your arm. And then your other arm. Ulrich Oakenhearth, step forward.
Ulrich steps forward.
You see much of the same thing happen to you. You notice that each of the patterns is slightly different. It seems that each pattern is unique to the owner, almost like a fingerprint, as you step back. Yarvik Venisonbringer, step forward.
Steps forward.
He breathes, and you are marked. Zippo.
Zippo excitedly runs forward.
Rift smiles at Zippo and heaves a great breath in your direction. It's not enough to be a breath weapon, but it's much more swirls than before. Maybe it just seems that way because you're so small. especially now that you are back to small size instead of medium. It definitely feels that way. But Zippo, for a moment, is completely engulfed by the bronze sparkles. You can't see his figure very much as he sparkles and shines, and in a flash, Zippo's red skin has turned to bronze, and he is no longer a red kobold, but a bronze one.
Zippo is like jumping up and down in joy.
You still
So
see
excited.
you still see markings on your wrists, but they are the opposite of the others of the group. Instead, the last remaining bits of red are your bronze clan markings.
Zippo is so excited. Like his whole body's almost shaking. He's so excited.
He settles back down. Welcome to the clan.
Belzian rejoices.
So excited. He runs over and starts petting up on Brunhild again, just like shaking her head, Very excited.
High fives all around.
Indeed. So, thank you very much for accepting us into your clan. Now, as you may recall, Rift, we wish to join your clan so that we could parlay with others here in the in other clans here in Relic. And we are keen to get underway with that process. How, as the leader of this clan, would you suggest that we call together the other clans and unite them in the purpose of respecting the boundaries that the wall wants enforced?
I can make a meeting call. It generally takes about a week to assemble. I can make it there first and set the way for you, and you can travel there. It should take you about that long to travel there using one of our mounts. Well, each of you using a mount, of course. And then you can meet the council. Now, I make no promises what the council's reaction will be, but I am certainly on your side and will do my best to pave the way for you.
Truly
Thank you very much.
You seem excited in this moment. You're speaking over each other. Could you say that again?
Go for it, Ulrich.
I think we were just saying thank you. We appreciate you doing this and your generosity in welcoming us into your clan.
Of course. It is good to have new blood again. It has been some time.
Do you find that the local resources have dried up a bit in terms of new membership?
Well, There are plenty of people within the clan to keep the clan alive. But it has been some time since we have seen a new member, which is why your fellow members are so excited.
Zippo, while all this is going on, is excitedly still petting on Brunhild and talking to Brunhild, just like not enough to interrupt everybody. He's talking about how like he's gonna be like the big cheese if he ever goes back to the rest of the kobolds. If he goes back to them, he's gonna be like bragging about how he's met real dragon, how awesome they all are, how he's part of a real dragon clan now.
So, knowing your mission and knowing what I must do next, what information do you need from me?
Well,
Hi.
go
Yeah.
ahead.
I think it would be helpful to know the general vibe of these council meetings you have, like, and what kind of courtesies are offered to one another. Like, what should we wear?
I would encourage you to dress as if you were meeting someone important, because it is likely that you will not have met with this many leaders at one time in your lives. Impressions are important, but each member values something different. Some value strength, others value honor, some others value deception. I would be prepared for any situation, even one of combat.
Of all the
You-
clans. Good.
Yavik, go ahead.
Go ahead. Of all the clans, who's going to be the most challenging to sway, do you think?
Well, if I would hazard a guess, the worst clan to try and convince will be the Black. Especially because you are now of mine. That will do you no favors.
So the Black and Axe clans typically align historically.
No.
Hmm.
Will this be decided on a popular vote, majority vote? Can any clan veto?
It would be best if it were unanimous. Think of what a deunified council might cause. Relic must be unified in this, or we will all become weaker, and the other council members will see this.
And is there a way that we could... Is there something we should do in order to convince the other councils?
Some might
they
have tests of their own. Some might see your truth and know it to be. Others will take convincing. And others, well, might listen to me. There are 12 members for the 12 clans. Deirdris is the Black Dragon leader. She will be the hardest to convince. Unless Glorin has done something foolhardy, he is the leader of the Axe clan. Something tells me you've heard that name before, Ulrich.
Yes, they don't really care for me.
Nexus is the leader of the Tusk clan. Nexus and Glorin are all but brothers. What Glorin agrees to, so will Nexus. Yeora is close behind them. She is the leader of the Rock clan. I know not where she will go. She may be swayed by her brothers, or she may see where the wind is blowing.
As he says that, Zippo, I just instinctively says, good thing I can change the direction of the wind.
Rift, I apologize if we went over this, but I feel like I may not have asked this really. For fear really of the fact that it seemed I didn't want to jeopardize this opportunity to join your clan. Why exactly are you willing to help us in this way?
Well, I know your story to be true. And you held nothing back, and wished to make amends for what is going on. I know you did not wish the wall down, or this, well, I know that you did not wish this war to begin again. And, well, I am of a similar mind.
Were you there when the wall first went up?
I was a hatchling.
But you were alive then.
I was. I was not the leader, though.
What became of the leader?
He died making the wall.
Is that a fate you're going to have to face?
What do you mean?
If our goal is to somehow bring that wall back up, is that a fate that you will suffer? Will you die bringing this wall back up?
I don't believe it can be brought back. I think our only hope is peace. And that is why I support you.
That is fair, and I do appreciate that. And you did clearly state that you did not think they could be brought back up. But I just wanted to make sure that we weren't jeopardizing your life.
That's right. I mean, we just met you, and it would be sad to see you go.
Yeah.
The rest of the council members you will meet. But the ones I mentioned are going to be the hardest to convince. Think on the things you might say And that could convince an axe to be holstered. Convince a dragon to not eat its prey.
What can you tell us about the other clan leaders?
Well, the Halfling clan is currently in an uproar. There's been several changes in leadership in a short time, and I'm not quite sure who will lead them in the meeting.
Halflings are just weird.
Leo Day Snatcher is as weird as they come.
Have to have a little chat.
There will be one that does not speak at all. His name is Misk, and he is of the clan of the Cloak.
Is it that he does not speak or cannot speak?
The dragon gives an impressive shrug and
That's
says,
fair.
I know not.
Does he communicate in other fashions?
He shakes his fist, yes. Like this.
All right.
Okay, so we know a little bit about just over, say, half of the clan leaders. The rest remain a mystery.
He kind of counts off on his claws and says, there's Frit Ragnar of the Bugbear clan, Ril Dala of the Merfolk, the Druids are led by one named Nesset. I believe that is all of them. Ah, the Eternals, how could I forget about them? Our northern brothers are led by a warforged named Bryn.
I think the Changeling plan?
As I said, the Changelings, I'm not sure who their leader is. I've heard
Oh.
that it's changed again. It was at one point Rahold.
Let's hope they're all not like Perrin.
You know the name Piran.
Yeah, he was the first guy we met when we crossed the wall.
Interesting.
I'm pretty sure he's a were-tiger.
He was their leader until just before the wall fell. He was exiled for speaking in crazy fashions. In crazed fashions.
Yeah, his whole cave was like that.
Interesting. Well, I suppose unless the rest of you have any more questions for Rift, we should let him get back to his very important things to do. And we should get ready for our journey.
Indeed. Thank you again, Rift. This is an honor. We're indebted, and we'll serve your clan true. Where exactly should we find these mounts you spoke of?
Well, if you would like, you can stay as my guests for this evening. Rest, eat well, and be off tomorrow. If you desire to leave today, you will find your mounts ready for you when you leave this building. And I can give you a modest meal for your travels.
Save your rest.
I'm sure Zippo would love to spend another night in the City
Oh,
of
yeah.
Dragons.
Oh yeah,
And-
like if it's like he says it in like a making it sound like we need the rest, but you could easily see through his intentions. He just wants to be with the dragons longer.
And I think the rest of us would enjoy at least one evening not of traveling.
One more thing before I leave to head north. I had planned to investigate this personally on my travels in the next few days, but on your way here, did you by chance experience a great tremor of the earth?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
To the north, there is a valley where it originated from, and there is a ball of light, I am told, is at its center. On your way north, see if you can spot it, and report to me what you find on your way. It is in the Eternal Clan lands, but I am curious what could cause such a great calamity.
Zippo pulls out his notebook and flips through all the images and writes down what Riff said so he remembers.
As a small detail, I'm double checking, but I think. Am I wrong in thinking that we have a spare ring of communication at this point?
I believe
The range
you
of them is
have
only like a mile.
one.
Yep, I know it's only a mile, but there's another feature that it does.
That's true. We can see where somebody is on the world map.
Yeah, although that also is kind of short, right? Like we can't see where Jordan is at this point, right?
It only works within.
The third of the continent that you're in.
Ah, okay. Well,
It doesn't cross over the wall.
right. I mean, I think Ulrich would think at you all about the fact that we could give this ring to Rift and point out that, I mean, this way he could help us. He could, one, we could see where he is, which might be useful, and he could see, well, he wouldn't be able to see where we are, but regardless. And then, while we're in the council meeting, he could perhaps interject in our minds without having to play his hand at the meeting.
Yeah, that seems reasonable. Go ahead and offer it to him.
Rift. I do not know exactly how you would wear this. I suppose magic items do tend to resize themselves a bit, but this is the first time I've met a true dragon, other than Zippo here. And And Brunhilde, of course.
Oh, see it.
He cocks his head for a second, but continues to listen.
This ring, we each carry a ring like this, and it allows us to communicate with each other telepathically within a certain range, about a mile or so. Would you like to be part of our circle? Would such treasure interest you?
His eyes sparkle at the word treasure, as if that was the word, and he offers a finger.
He places it on Riff's finger.
Yeah, so as the ring grows closer and closer to Rift's finger, you kind of slip it over the extended claw, and it kind of slips over that, and then Rift takes it and moves it up the claw, and it begins expanding until it goes over the finger.
And Ulrich leans in and whispers,
I'm so sorry that you're now going to be subjected to a lot of nonsense.
Be warned, I can always take it off.
That is true.
Don't worry, filtering out Zippo is a lot easier than it seems.
Do you say that out loud or in the ring?
Yeah, oh, in the ring for sure. and directed just at Rift.
Okay. He messages through the ring, curious. Everybody can hear it.
Yeah. Well, this is a momentous day.
"Indeed."
This
Shall
is
we
quite literally
feast?
the best day of my life. Yes, let's eat.
A feast then. And he claps and leads the group out to a table that is huge. At it sit all kinds of various looks like leaders of the Bronze Clan, and even just regular people who have come for the feast. Not everybody in the city's there, of course, but it's a grand hall filled with people. There has not been much to celebrate, so people are going all out. Word has spread of your adventures. Rift has not told the people of your clan your story, but your adventures nonetheless have piqued people's interest. They know that you're from the south, that you passed the trials, and certain elements of the trials have been embellished. Zippo has chugged 24 potions now, not 8, and grown to be the size of a dragon, and flew the whole party through a portion of the trials. The trials always change, so people are always fascinated to find out what the trials are, and they kind of eventually start asking you all. Feel free to embellish, and we can talk more about that next time, or you can actually in the Discord you can kind of give me some broad strokes of what that is, but it is a party nonetheless. You're each given 2,000 gold pieces each as a bounty for being part of the clan, and you all have gained a level.
Hooray! And we each get our own starter treasure hoard.
Exactly.
Adding it straight to my little Ford I already have going.
All right.
Gold pieces do not count towards encumbrance in this campaign, do they?
No, because you have a bag of holding, so you're good. Your party has one. I will also say that that's where we're going to end session for tonight. For once, we're going to end on a happy note. So next session, we will kind of probably be at the tail end of the feast. We can go into some detail, or if you have any questions about the feast next time, we can go through that. But that's where we'll end it tonight. Just be prepared to be leveled next time. You're all going to be what level now? Just tell the group.
10.
10.
Level 10. We are at the double digits.
Double digits.
Now the
Double
real
digits.
fun begins, right? So next time we will kick off from there. That'll be in 2 weeks. 2 weeks from now is going to be May 2nd. So hopefully everybody's good for that. It'll be at 7-ish Eastern Standard Time, maybe a little bit later than that, depending on when we need to start. But we will hopefully all be there and ready to go at that point, which will be our 2-year anniversary. So it's one to not miss. Hope to see you all there. Thanks everybody for playing, and thanks for everybody who watched. Have a good night.
Good night.